You know, Kevin, as we're sitting here about to talk some college football, I am just so enamored by your love of your school cafeteria's food. I mean, is this real?
Yeah, the smoked sausage biscuits in the morning, they're just perfect. The sausage nice and chewy. And then for lunch, we have the chicken Alfredo, just perfect with the little chocolate cookie they give us.
Ugh, boy, my cafeteria food was a disgusting, soggy burger. You took the bun off, and half of it came off and was stuck to the burger. And you're talking chicken Alfredo?
Yeah, it's like gourmet. Got it from Duamici.
It's 10-Year-Old's Take, starring Kevin. He's got the takes, you can take them or leave them. Here's Kevin and Brad.
And welcome, everybody, to 10-Year-Old's Take. We are back for another season. I'm Brad.
And I'm Kevin.
And we are here to talk some college football. Now, the asterisk to this show this year is, Kevin, you had a big day on May 28th. What was it?
My birthday!
So you're 11 years old, but, we are so branded with 10-Year-Old's Take. It's worldwide now.
Just too famous to, not keep the name.
We're on fire. We signed the contracts with sponsors as 10-Year-Old's Take, so we can't change it. So while you're 11, we're still going to call them 10-Year-Old's Take, but because let's face it, I mean, you still think and act like a 10-year-old sometimes.
I mean, you have the brain of a 7-year-old.
Right. Yeah, okay. Let's talk about college football here. The only thing we have to go on are rankings. There's the coaches poll. We have the AP poll. We'll go with the writers and talk the AP poll. Folks, I'll give you the top 5 here quickly. Number 1 is Ohio State, followed by Oregon, Georgia, Notre Dame, and Texas. Kevin, as you look at the entire top 25 that's in front of you, who do you like the most?
So I think I just got to go with the 11 ranked LSU Tigers and then the Ole Miss Rebels here. I just think they're one of the most underrated in the top 25.
Well, Lane Kiffin has certainly spent a little cashola there in Baton Rouge to get his roster together. Ole Miss, they were able to get Chambliss back. He's their quarterback. Speaking of quarterback, I like Stockton at Georgia. I think that guy has been battle tested. He's been in the big games. Georgia, with that run game and just Kirby Smart, they have Bobo. That team's going to be solid. I'm a little stunned, and I think they're a little low at number 3.
Yeah, I do. I'm wondering why Indiana, after winning the
Championship?
college football championship, they're not ranked number 1.
Oh, well, here's a hot take from me on Indiana. Obviously the hottest name in coaching is Kurt Cignetti, but the hardest thing to do is follow up a championship. How does he take all the success? Can he motivate his team after this kind of 2-year buildup? They were close the year before, then won it all last year. I think Indiana stumbles this year.
I don't think Indiana's going to do good. I was just wondering why they're not number 1.
Now, the paper champ of all of these teams is Notre Dame because their schedule is easier than your multiplication tables in 6th grade.
It's honestly easier than Bowling Green's schedule.
Yeah, you're probably right. So Notre Dame, by default, will be there near the end only because they will not have played anybody. But I do think, Kevin, again, overrated teams are Indiana, probably USC, and boy, I'm not going to call them overrated, but boy, I'll be curious to see how Michigan does with Kyle Whittingham as their coach.
I will say I don't like Washington being there, top 25.
Yeah.
Hard take.
Hard take. Well, hey, another thing that's been kind of hard for Florida State to do lately has been winning games. We're, of course, Nole fans, and that's going to be a big question mark for us as we navigate this season. Florida State, 2-10 in 24, 5-7 in 2025. A couple key storylines for them, Kevin. The number 1 on the list is Ashton Daniels at quarterback. He's there, a transfer in from Auburn, who was kind of a late bloomer at Auburn, a guy that a lot of Auburn fans told me probably should have started the season. If you didn't know, he was a late enrollee to Auburn. He didn't go through spring practice. They, of course, get Jackson Arnold. And the problem is, Kevin, they're paying that guy a lot of money to not sit the bench, but to play. So Ashton Daniels doesn't play.
Yeah, it's just kind of strange how you'd pay somebody way more than you could pay a better player on the bench.
Right. Makes zero sense even for a 10-year-old. Wait, you're 11. But Kevin, tell me a little bit about this pressure. There's pressure on Ashton Daniels to perform. He's a senior, but boy, Mike Norvell, that guy was the hero. Now he's the goat.
Yeah, I just don't know what happened to him. A 13-1 season, almost undefeated,
Yep.
but just 2 straight losing seasons after that. Can he show a good season after that? At least like 7 wins.
It's going to be interesting to see. He does and has shown an ability to start a season fast. He beat LSU in 2022. He beat LSU in 23. Heck, lost to Georgia Tech in Ireland in 24, but he did come back and beat Alabama in 25. So he needs a hot start, but he needs to keep it going. Now, the thing is, Kevin, the challenging schedule for Florida State, they get, the ACC does them no favors. They have to play Miami. They have to play Clemson. They have to play Alabama.
At what's it called? Tuscaloosa.
Yeah. Of course, they play Florida. That's not an ACC team, but you're getting my drift. The schedule's tough, one of the tougher ones. Plus these crazy Friday night games.
Yeah, it's like with Stanford, I won't say the whole reason why they lost was because of the time, but just think all the way across the country, a whole different time zone. It's like, what, 1 a.m. for them? Or would it be like 1 a.m. for
By the
them?
time that game was over, yeah. So last year they did play Stanford. It was late and it was an awkward game. The ACC does them no favors. They have to play at Louisville on a Friday night. They have to play at Pitt on a Friday night. It's really an interesting deal. So Florida State has all that going for them, or against them rather. So we'll see how they do. But those are some of their big storylines. I'm going to predict a rebound season for Florida State. How about you?
I think we're going to go 7-5 here.
That's fair.
And I just want at least a bowl game.
Yeah, I think I'm in the low end 6 wins, high end 9 wins. I'm living in the 8-4 world. That will take an upset or 2 here or there, but I think it's doable. Obviously, everybody's calling the linchpin on the schedule is the SMU game, which is on Labor Day night in Tallahassee. I like them winning that game, but first up, they have to get past the New Mexico Aggies.
It's time now for 10-Year-Old's Take Game of the Week.
And Kevin, this game is our game of the week. It's Florida State opening week 0 in Tallahassee. It's a 7 o'clock kick, a late one. We're going to be up late that night down there in Florida. A big matchup for them is going to be Ashton Daniels in his first start under the lights in Tallahassee. How do you see this game going?
I think I see us winning by a lot.
Yeah.
But the only problem is, even as the home team for Florida State, the pressure still builds on you at Doak.
Yeah.
Even with the opponents, you have a lot of pressure. On the home team, sometimes I think you have more to win for your home fans.
Yeah, Florida State, obviously the more talented roster. That shouldn't be a scare here. We're going to be excited to see Deuce Robinson, Usman Kroma. We're going to be excited to see some new additions and key pieces on defense. So Florida State, I think Kevin's going to win big. Norvell's back at calling plays. I like Mike Norvell as a play caller. How about you?
Yeah, I just think he's just getting unlucky with his players. Like the 2024 season with DJ, he was a good QB. He just had a horrible team surrounding him. That was the problem. And he's a good coach.
Yeah.
And with last season, kind of Gus the bus took over.
Yeah, the Gus bus drove on out of town. In fact, he wrecked on his way out of town. He's retired. Norvell's back, fighting for his coaching life. Kevin, I'll give you the last word on our game of the week. Who you picking?
I got New Mexico State. Just kidding. I got Florida State. You thought I was serious?
Yeah, I was about to stop the recording.
Coach Kevin presents You Make the Call.
Okay, Kevin, this is a new segment on the show. It's called Coach Kevin. Here's the scenario. 4th and 2, you're down 3, 2 minutes left. You're driving. You're down to the opponent's 38-yard line. What does Coach Kevin call on the headset and why?
So here, personally, I would not kick a field goal. It's like a 55-yarder. I don't think really any kickers can really make that.
Not consistently.
Not consistently. But I honestly would run a drag route or an out route. Both are very good plays, around 2 through 5 yards on average. I just think that could work, and I do it all the time in the video game.
Good deal. What's not listed here is timeouts. Yeah, if you have a couple timeouts, let's say you have 3 timeouts, you could even punt the ball.
I could punt the ball, and
Well-
relying on my defense, I could stop them, but
I like where your head's at. Go for the win. And Kevin, talk about winning. That's tailgating on Saturdays. I'm going to ask you another question. Give me your top 3 tailgating foods.
all right. So number 1, I think I have to go with on Gators games, on Grumpy's Gator. It's just amazing. It melts in your mouth. And then for number 2, I gotta go with Aunt Mary's little homemade chicken minis. They're perfect.
Uh-huh.
And then at number 3, I love the chicken tenders from Raising Cane's. They're really good.
Fantastic. Those are solid 3 options. I'm going to add one. I'm going to go 3 plus 1. In the early morning tailgates, because you have to get there to secure your spot and you're sitting there. Nothing like a good, hot, Krispy Kreme donut to get you started.
I've only recently liked donuts. I used to not really like them, but now I do.
And then, of course, you're into the beer. The root
Sip
beer.
for yes.
Beer.
Sip for tip for the root beer.
Yeah. Awesome. Hey, Kevin, we do have a question from a fan. What's your favorite moment when attending a game in person?
So my favorite moment at attending a game in the 2022 season, I'm pretty sure, me and my brother Ryan, shout out to you, were up in the stands, and the rest of our family was out in the club, drinking away.
Okay.
And I noticed my tooth was bleeding, so I just wiggled it a bit, and it started hanging by a thread. And this was where I could not pull a tooth by myself, or else I'd barf. So I'm like, I tap my shoulders. I tap my brother's shoulder, and he's just like, "What is it?" Because the game's getting pretty tight. I'm like, "Can you help me pull my tooth?" He's like, "All right, come down to the bathroom." He says, "On the count of 3, I'm gonna pull it." And he says, 1, 2, and then he just yanks it from my mouth. Never says 3. I never forgave him for that.
Did Rhino ever wash his hands before that, or did he just...
I think he just yanked it.
Oh, fantastic. Kevin, I didn't think going into this recording that I'd hear the word barf. That's interesting. And also, hey, on those hot games in Tallahassee, Kevin, of course you're drinking lots of water. Hey, let's get into the picks. We have 4 games. We'll go through them quickly. North Carolina versus TCU. Who do you like?
I got to go with North Carolina here. I think they're a pretty solid team.
I'm going TCU. That game is in Ireland. Memphis versus UNLV.
I got to go with the UNLV, actually.
I'll take UNLV. Dan Mullen is a heck of a coach. Memphis is in their first-year coach. I don't like them on the road, particularly in Las Vegas. A little bit of distraction out there. NC State versus Virginia.
Got to go with NC State here, the Wolfpack.
Yeah, Wolfpack, they have a great quarterback. Virginia, I think, was a one-trick pony last year with their quarterback. I don't like them at all. One-hit wonder. I have NC State. And lastly, we picked this game already, but just reiterate it with the fans, Kevin. You're taking New Mexico over Florida State.
I think you heard me wrong. I got Florida State here, actually.
I tried to trick you, but there's no tricking an 11-year-old on a show called 10-Year-Olds Take.
Okay, Kevin, close us out with a little Disney magic.
All right, Kevin, before we wrap up here, we are big Disney people. We go a lot. I'm going to ask you, Kevin, for a hot take on Disney as we wrap up.
So, my hot take here is that I do think Magic Kingdom, go there like 5 times every trip.
Uh-huh.
I think the fireworks in the parades are very overrated. Hot take, I know.
I'll give you the parades only because we've probably seen them too many times, and people lining the street and sitting on the curb. Yikes. That's not me. I will walk out and watch the fireworks or be on the ride during the fireworks, but we all know that the Epcot fireworks are better top to bottom, particularly during July 4th and New Year's Eve. That is not a hot take. That's reality, Kevin.
I do think that's reality. And another reality statement here, even the 4th of July.
Yeah.
4th of July Magic Kingdom ones, I do not think they're as good as the normal Epcot fireworks, personally.
Fantastic. All right, folks, that's it for our first episode of 10-Year-Olds Take here as we begin
Second season
2. Kevin, thanks for participating. Thanks for being
Am I
here.
getting paid?
You're not getting paid yet. The ink is not dry yet on all the new contracts. But as soon as it is, I'll get you that bag of Skittles that you work for.
I always want my nice big bag of Skittles.
All right, folks. We'll see you next time.